Ibrahim Traoré sent a secret delegate to Trump, mission of peace or warning. The world watched in silence as a private jet from Burkina Faso touched down on American soil under the cover of night. No press, no announcements, no flags. But inside was a man handpicked by Africa's most defiant leader Ibrahim Traoré with a message for Donald Trump. What happened next was never meant to reach the public, until it did. And now the question echoes across the globe: was it a mission of peace or a chilling warning? Before we dive in, please support us by subscribe our channel. Thanks for your kind attention. That it began quietly. Too quietly. In the early hours of a Tuesday morning, a Gulfstream G650 landed at a private airstrip just outside Palm Beach, Florida. There were no reporters, no security convoys, no flashing lights, just one long black SUV waiting patiently. At the edge of the tarmac, the passenger who stepped off the jet was no ordinary diplomat. His name was Dr. Ayuba Baka, a former revolutionary-turned-geopolitical advisor, and Ibrahim Traoré as closest confidant. Fluent in 5 languages, with degrees from Paris, Cairo, and Cape Town, Sankara was known in certain global circles as the Quiet Thunder. He didn't come with luggage, just a leather-bound case handcuffed to his wrist and eyes that revealed nothing. The SUV took him straight to Mar-a-Lago, where Donald Trump was in semi-retirement but still wielding immense influence behind the scenes. The official story was that Trump was preparing for a 2028 campaign strategy session. But insiders quickly whispered that jet wasn't American, and it wasn't long before things got even stranger. Surveillance footage from local cameras mysteriously went offline during the exact time the convoy passed. A hotel staff member swore they saw Trump and Sankara talking late into the night in a closed-off wing of the estate with no translators present. What was so secret that 2 world figures would meet alone, behind locked doors? The next morning, Washington was on fire, not from confirmation, but from speculation. CIA analysts were scrambling. Why would Traoré, a man openly critical of Western imperialism and a champion of Pan-African independence, send an envoy to meet with Donald Trump, of all people? Was it about military alliances, a covert peace offering, or something darker? Then a leak came. A low-level technician at an intelligence listening post in Morocco caught part of a transmission in coded French Sahelian dialect. It was confirmed to be from Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, and it contained one phrase that sent chills through every Western intelligence office: "We offer a path to peace, or a path to pressure." Let the message be clear. Back in Mar-a-Lago, Trump remained unusually quiet. No tweets, no Truth Social rants. He simply posted a photo of a golden lion figurine sitting on a red velvet cloth with one word: respect. People were confused. His base was divided. But those close to him knew Trump had received something powerful, and it wasn't money. 3 days later, a whistleblower from the Burkina Faso side of the mission stepped forward. She was a junior attaché who had helped prepare the diplomatic packet delivered by Dr. Sankara. Her reveal: the leather case handcuffed to Sankara's wrist contained a confidential peace framework drafted by Ibrahim Traoré, a revolutionary new agreement proposing African-led security operations in the Sahel, neutral to NATO and BRICS, but requiring recognition and funding from independent Western figures like Trump. Exclusive intelligence on illegal weapons transfers from Europe into West Africa, evidence that would severely damage multiple Western defense contractors. A personal handwritten letter from Traoré to Trump. The letter, written in English, reportedly opened with, "Mr. Trump, I do not trust governments, but I do trust bold men." It then laid out a third path, a potential collaboration between former U.S. power brokers and rising African nations to establish a new era of mutual respect without puppets, without strings, without colonizers. But the letter also came with a veiled ultimatum: if peace cannot be made with the bold, then we will resist the cowards with force. Suddenly, the mission didn't feel so peaceful anymore. Within 48 hours of the leak, the State Department issued a vague warning about unauthorized foreign communications with politically exposed U.S. persons. It was a thinly veiled jab at Trump. At the same time, the Pentagon began moving resources closer to West Africa. Surveillance drones increased. Naval presence quietly shifted in the Gulf of Guinea. They were preparing for something then. Donald Trump, silent until now, gave an unannounced press conference. He stepped out at Mar-a-Lago in front of a gold and black banner, surrounded by American veterans, and said, "I met with a man who came from strength, not weakness." Ibrahim Traoré sent a message the world should hear. He doesn't want war, he wants respect. And guess what? I respect that. Then he added, "If the current administration won't listen to Africa's voice, maybe I will." The internet exploded. Right-wing influencers hailed Trump's stance as global realism. Left-wing analysts warned it was unregulated diplomacy. African activists called it a turning point in history. But behind the scenes, the White House was furious, and Traoré, he posted a single cryptic sentence on his verified channels: "Peace is not submission. Peace is balance." In the weeks that followed, things began to shift. Several African nations, including Mali, Guinea, and Niger, signaled support for the Traoré proposal, quietly circulating drafts of the Sahel Sovereignty pact that had been introduced to Trump. France, already kicked out of multiple West African states, issued a sharp statement condemning unauthorized diplomatic alliances that could threaten European stability. Trump, now emboldened by public support, began assembling a team of independent negotiators, billionaires, former generals, even Black American activists, to explore a new dialogue with African nations. Meanwhile, Dr. Sankara vanished from public view only to reappear 3 weeks later in Istanbul, meeting with Turkish and Iranian diplomats. The chessboard was moving. Was this the beginning of a Pan-African alliance with independent Western actors like Trump? Or was this merely the quiet before the storm, a warning that the global South was done waiting for permission to rise? One thing is certain: Ibrahim Traoré didn't send a man to Trump hoping to negotiate. He sent a man to warn Trump that history was changing, and this time, Africa was writing the script.